Hello and welcome to episode 29 of our Ostriv Alpha 4 Let's Play. It is September of 1747 in our town, and right now these workers are gathering buckwheat from the field. Last episode we built some fun new things in our town, a couple more houses down here, and did some general improvements as well as up here. We built some more wagon sheds and this little park type thing. We need to find something to put in this area, and then we can also make a few more additional improvements. Now, last time, did we mess with... No, we did not. We did not enable linseed as a feed option, and it doesn't seem to be showing up here, so that's kind of strange. But we can worry about that at a later date. We do have some food instability problems happening here. I did note at the end of last episode that we had granaries that were not really doing too much, not purchasing any goods from consumers, and I still haven't really figured out why that is. There's some other stuff is showing up here fine. It's just not buying any of this stuff. So that could be because people are just deciding not to sell. Or there could be other reasons entirely, but I don't know. We did mess with the economic settings a little bit. Implemented the wealth tax, lowered the rent, and raised the wages as well as the market products price and the purchase from citizens price. So, not quite sure why they're not selling. They have sold some honey. These people still have 225. And I'm willing to bet these people still have almost 10,000. Oh my god, they have 13,000. Okay. And a child. That's a lot to keep up with. Well, maybe someday they'll decide to take their wares to market, but I don't think today is that day. And we have less than one raspberry. We turned this off from buying specifically at the trading post, instead encouraging people to sell to the granaries instead. I always click the wrong one. But, you know, they're not doing that. We are almost at 600 residents. We have 30-ish open vacancies right now. You know, we might be able to build another smithy. I don't know if I want to commit to that just quite yet. But I do think, look at this, this forestry right here is pretty funny. It's just carving out in a circle. I mean, they always do that. I just think it's kind of funny how they have stuff set up. And of course, people in these houses right here are purchasing their firewood to the tune of 10,467 per year. And there is another forestry. There's a couple of them, actually. There's one down here that is doing pretty swift business with firewood as well. And there's one up here that has nothing going on. And somebody suggested a couple of videos ago, and I didn't do it then, but I'm going to do it now, that we plant a reforestation area. Now we have this little walkway right here. So I think what I'm going to do is join up to there. And we're just going to take, I know, another grid. It's fine. If you want to watch me do something that's not a grid, the Dawn of Man playthrough that I've been putting up is slowly making progress. Let's see, can I do 44 by 20 here? Might be too wide to match up with that. 19, 18. You know what? We're going to call that good enough. Oh, don't crash the game. Don't do this to me. Well, as you can see, clearly the game has crashed again. Strange bug. Let's try this again. If this happens again, then that's going to be extremely unfortunate because I have a lot of trees that need to be replanted here. Okay, so that seemed to work that time. That's very strange. If that happens again, I might have to submit a bug report. But anyway, so what this is right here is a reforestation area. And you can use the forestry. This is one of the functions that has been built in for not since the beginning of the game, but for the past couple of patches, updates. I think it might have been a feature in late Alpha 3. But this is just a predefined area where you can tell your forestry workers to plant a bunch of trees, and then you can harvest them in case you don't want to destroy all of your naturally occurring ones. So our buddy right here is going to go to one of these trees, and he's going to plant it. And there we go. And this process will continue and continue and continue until they have finished planting all of the trees. So there's 5 of them, so they should actually get to work pretty quickly doing a lot of that stuff. And then a couple in-game years, these trees will be pretty much about as big as they could get. We don't have a lot of pine trees around, but I think that's the type of tree that grows. Although since this map has the spruce trees, these could be little baby spruce trees. I don't think it's going to let me click on each individual tree, but these do look not very much like spruce trees. So we will leave them to it, and we'll go do something else. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. I do want to try to preserve the wooded character of most of the rest of the map if I can. We'll see, obviously, things like building houses in the middle. They're going to do their different roads everywhere. Just kind of can't avoid that because of how the pathing system of the game works. But that should be a help to give this area a little bit more of stuff to do and break up some of the pathing as well. So you can see they're already getting rid of this and favoring this area over here. This path will shift a little bit as well. At any rate, I think what we can do now is try to find different places that can be improved with small incremental changes here. So we'll ignore the people being poor. That'll fix itself. This forestry is so full of stuff. 35,000 capacity. It's got 37.4 because it has so much bark. Now the only real use for bark is for tanning, and I think we have a full we have a full warehouse. These are still 10,000. So we actually don't need this one to produce very much bark because we have so much. So we can cut that down a little bit, and they'll stop filling this back up. So that'll be fine. This one's actually only producing firewood, which I think is good. Let's see, that should be fine there. We still have limestone. Okay, so this map very clearly has quite a few limestone deposits there, regular stone deposits as well, as we've seen. I think a lot of them have been mined. But we will, we'll see. Should be fine for what we've got. Yeah, we've got plenty, and you really only need the stone to build the church, and I think a couple of other buildings. As far as schools go, okay, yeah, so this area is maturing, and these families' children by now, since it's 26 years from settlement start, most of these kids should already be grown up and married, if I'm remembering correctly. I think this child technically can still be in the school. She is 15. Yeah, their kid's 44, so yeah, no. Not going to school, not going to... That kid, their kid is 50? Okay, he must have already been an adult when they moved in. Okay, so, yeah, this guy has gotten married, but she's still going to be at school. Yeah, so there's going to be a couple. So this school is fine for now. Let's see, chickens are doing fine, pigs are doing fine. Oh, so they've got different stuff. That's fine. Let's see if they bought any. Okay, so now this seems to be working again, at least in this granary. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't know what was happening with that, but it does seem to be resolved ever so slightly. So maybe we just had to wait for harvest time, I guess. I don't know. And of course, this Weaver's Workshop has flax and hemp, and as the seasons are going to change very soon, this will very quickly become busy, and they'll get to work making textile and all that good stuff. So Weaver's Workshop here, we did not build an additional tailor's workshop, but I don't think we need one. Unless, there might have been a patch note about decreasing the productivity of the weavers or the tailors, but I can't remember which one it was. I'll have to look that up. But we'll figure out how many clothes they're able to produce. We only have 20, so maybe it was the tailors. So their actually storage is full. So they need the textile to go over to tailor's workshop. I think I can move the resources textile to... Oh, I should probably actually tell them how many I want moved. So we'll move that to there. Okay, this is such a useful feature. This right here, the moving resources. That will be such a massive help. This, of course, is a warehouse for charcoal and wood. Alright, so they'll be able to get to work with that as soon as this season opens, which, yes, should be beginning of December. Oh, Derkachi has returned. Buy my shoes, buy my charcoal, buy my sunflower oil. Don't have enough clothes. Raspberries? I don't... Oh, I actually do, okay. Yeah, buy those. We've got sallow. We have plenty of potatoes. Not too much dried fish, but I think we'll get there. Iron, we have plenty. Metal parts, we never have enough, so I'll go ahead and buy some of those. Lime, again, most of this we have. We have plenty of leather. We can make a lot more shoes, actually. Let's see, so there's one more house that still has to be built down here. That is this one right here. It is slowly coming along, but you can see have our paths through the trees. I wish I could make it a little more organic. I don't want to go so far as to fence in this forest to keep people from kind of cutting across, but I might end up doing that at some point. I like the idea of having houses in the forest. I don't know, I grew up around Atlanta in Georgia, in the southern U.S., and there are so many trees here. You can have, I mean, the city itself, even parts of it, are as densely forested as right here, and you have centuries-old houses and all sorts of stuff just amongst the trees, and it's really fun. It's nice. It's a departure from, I know some other places in the U.S. where there's just nothing, like in the West. But it's just a nice little slice of a home, I guess, in 18th century Ukraine, whatever that's worth. But yeah, I like this aesthetic of kind of a departure from the order and all of, well, that's not really that orderly, but you know what I'm getting at right here. So I think by now they've planted, yeah, they planted all the trees. I think they shouldn't, yeah, they're pine trees, okay. So those will grow up over the next couple of years. We do still have some open vacancies, but people are still being poor. So let's double check our population. So yeah, no one has a ton of money. But because we have the wealth redistribution thing active now, we can lower our rent a little bit. Don't worry, I won't make you sit through all of this. Just do a little bit of this here while we're taking a look at our statistics. And then we might even be able to bump up the wages a little bit. We will, we'll see what ends up working here. So we have quite a bit of money. We're actually running at a surplus here. So if I go up to 350, probably leave laborers at 3. We'll see if that that helps any. I think some of this is just kind of the way that stuff is set up. And see, these people just bought food. Yeah, it's just one of those things that we're going to have to just kind of deal with here. But as far as I'm concerned, the most pressing need in the town has been for a while and is still to build more houses. And this area now is reasonably, I think reasonably developed around this marketplace here. We do still have the ability to build some more houses around here. I was going to wait until this area was kind of cleared out a little bit more and kind of expand this thing. But I think, still haven't really figured out what to do here. I like this being kind of open, but we can, of course, this of course is a warehouse. We can probably put a couple more houses here. Maybe with gardens would be a good idea. Never have too many houses with gardens. I'm sure someone will have something to say about that. I wonder if I have to have these set up back to back like this. Well, we'll try one there, and we'll try another one 180 degrees. Just these two. You know what? Actually, no, I lied. We're going to do that, but we're also going to extend this. And then we're going to hit our F1 button. We're going to come all the way out here. Maybe not all the way out there. We'll come all the way to out here. Can't tell if this is straight. It's, yeah, close enough. Extend this just a tiny bit more. And that should be fine. And then we'll come right around here with another house. Rotate 180 degrees. Hit our F1 button again. We do have our windmills right here. I'm going to match this up with the edge of that. Will this let me go right here? I think it will. You know, it's not perfect, but it's what we're going to call close enough. So let's actually set, maybe for a little bit of variety, we can set this house right here in the corner there. And they'll have kind of like a side yard. Oh, don't crash again. Come on. Well, the game crashed again. Did it save any of this? Okay, it seems like it did. Well, I think I definitely will be submitting a bug report for that. At any rate, we're going to try this again. At least we have an idea what we're doing now. Hit him with the F1. Drag this out to about here. And then this house, let's try our idea we had right there. Okay, so that didn't crash. Okay, that's an interesting problem indeed. Well, we'll see. We'll see what has to happen to get that to not happen again. Alright, so that is pretty good. We'll come back up here, do the same thing we just tried. Okay, that is good. So those two are finished. I'm going to go ahead and save real quick, because the autosaves always get corrupted, and that is very annoying. So those two houses will fill that area in somewhat, and leaving this open eventually. I am going to move these windmills somewhere, I think, because this is going to be some prime real estate, and I don't need windmills kind of clogging it up. Well, this one's not even pointed the right way. So we'll find another place for the windmills, probably in a more open area around here. I think we already looked at this school, we looked at that school, that school. Okay, yeah, so schools are still doing pretty well. Our reforestation area is coming along nicely as well. I still don't have these wagon sheds done. So let's check on our horses down here. And last episode, I believe it was. Okay, so breed horses wasn't checked this entire time. That's annoying. But now this male is 2 years old, so we can turn him into a draft horse. Of course, we need to leave these two so they can do their thing, make more horses. Might just end up buying a few more next time we have a trader come by. But I think we should be in pretty good shape. We have plenty of hay. Now, I'll tell you what we didn't do, is we didn't build more hay barracks up here, but there are a pretty good amount, so we should be alright. If we are finding that we need more, I can build more. So this house is done, and they already have somebody moving in. It was already existing in the town, so that didn't increase our population at all. But I think this side yard idea is an interesting way to kind of somewhat break up the monotony of these cookie cutter houses a little bit and still have a little bit of variety while still being pretty close to the entrance of the plot. So that's fun. They'll be working on that as well. Now right here we could put a couple more things. Not quite sure what we're going to put there. Of course we have shoes here, shoes there. Weavers are doing their thing. Tailors are predictably slow. No textile. Well, come on, what are these people doing? Get to work here. They of course can't use flax because they were not built after the flax update. And there's not even really any flax happening anyway. So it is still February. Let's make sure our fields aren't going to be desynced here. So that one is on its second That's one's on its first. So in one season this will be fallow. Another season that'll be fallow. And that's fallow currently, so that's good. We can actually probably skip this one to... We'll skip that one to hemp. That'll be fine. As far as this guy, this is potato. That's buckwheat. Potato again. And potato again. So that's fine. I don't know why we didn't have any empty ones. Alright, so they're selling horses. Go ahead and buy, or they can buy my sunflower oil. We still don't have very many clothes. I think they might have nerfed the clothing. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, I can't buy draft horses. Well, I can buy some more male horses. I'll go ahead and buy another female and another 2 females, rather. And another 1 male. Then we'll do that. They can reproduce a little faster that way. Iron we still have plenty of. Honey we're never going to buy again. So hopefully that'll fix a little bit there. As far as jobs go, we still have some open vacancies for the men. Women are fluctuating between open vacancies and needing a job. I think peak employment is really going to be planting season, probably April. So we'll take another look there, but I think we still could use a few more houses. And I don't want to build up too much more over here without building another marketplace, and I think that's probably going to have to be maybe about where the forestry is right now, or somewhere over here. That'll be for a little bit of a later video. We don't have anything going on up here. And I can't remember if it's because you can't really build anything there. No? Okay, well we could build something if we wanted to. We just have this kind of in the way. And this, of course, is set up to be transitory. This is probably actually a good spot for a gazebo right here. We'll just pop that right about there, just so that's someplace for people to go to. And I think we should put something over here. We already have the school right here. We don't have any other... Can't wait to get health and beer and all the other stuff in here that makes games like this so much fun. Now, I wonder if this would be a good place to put windmills. I think it might be. Because I can get it pretty close to the water if I put one there. And put one here. Can I fit another one here? No, not quite. But 2 of those is a decent way to finish off the shoreline a little bit. Because I know we couldn't put a fishing dock here. We tried that. And that'll be some more job stuff. And then I can get rid of these guys. And we'll see exactly what's going to be happening with all of that. How much honey do these people have now? Okay, so they sold a pretty good bit. I always click on the wrong one. Yeah, there we go. They sold a whole bunch and they probably got a ton of money, and it probably went right back out to our town's coffers here. But that's the way this thing goes. They're making great progress on this gazebo right here. I did see someone died, so let's go check on here. Okay, so we are over halfway full. Probably next episode or the one after that we'll expand the number of grave plots here a little bit. Other than that, we are looking pretty good. We have a new family settling in our town. Where are they going in? Okay, it's not going to let me... There we go. Oh, I guess this might have been where that woman lived who died. Yeah, 21 years ago. It's definitely long enough if she was old when she moved here in the first place. Could have been fine. Well, at any rate, it's a brand new family with 4 people, and they can all work. They're all old enough. So that is a valuable contribution to our economy here. And I really like these street designs right here. I think it's fantastic. This one is pretty nice. That one's pretty nice. These are growing slowly. Oh, they haven't planted all these trees yet. How? That was a long time ago in game time. Well, maybe eventually they'll get that figured out. Okay, so the gazebo's done. The windmill is done. They're going to build the second windmill. I want to find out why these have not been planted yet. The seedlings are still there. Because these trees, these are big enough now where they've been growing for a couple of in-game years at least. I can't zoom in far enough to see if there's actually a tree seedling planted in there, or if it's just a little armature for it. No, I don't see one. I wonder what's up with that. I can't even delete them. Because they don't have any, anything to them. These poor people still have paths in their yards, but it'll go away. And they will be planting, hopefully, this season. Yeah, it looks like they actually already did. So that'll be good. I want my trees. I don't know why there's no trees here. Is that just a glitch? Can I come in here with the trees again and... Yeah, it's not going to let me because there's a tree there. Or it thinks there's a tree there. Well, that's something to keep an eye on, I guess. But our other windmill is complete down here. So you know the drill. We'll go ahead and hit that. And that again. And now these can... Wow, that was quick. Those 4 jobs that almost immediately got filled. That's because people are looking for jobs. Well, that is fine and dandy. These trees are growing as well. I think might want to, along this fence on the side of the church, plant some bushes. Yeah, I can't do it there for sure. So we'll just come right along here. Just do one of these numbers right here. I really should get in the habit of saving the game more often. Every time it lags even slightly, I start to get paranoid that it's going to crash again. At any rate, this is looking pretty good. See, even just that little bit of attention to detail just makes that so much more interesting. Alright. Oh, the river traders. Okay, I can sell you 2,000 sunflower oil. Clothing, we have 800 in stock here. By all means. Raspberries, 681. I don't even know if I have to manually type this out or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Onions, 1,000 onions. Go right ahead. Honey, we have so much. Salt, we have so much. Dried fish. You know, we could probably actually use some. I'm not going to buy 9,000 though. That's kind of ridiculous. We'll go 2,000. All right. So that is lovely progress, and of course we have these horses. So let's go ahead and actually turn the We'll turn the male into a draft horse. We actually have 2 draft horses that the carpentry should operative term be turning into these guys here. Okay, so they are in the process of fulfilling this, maybe. Oh, you're working from home, huh? Okay, well, don't know how you can work from home building a cart with a horse where you don't have a cart or a horse, but we'll see what happens, I suppose. Yeah, we'll let that do its thing. So we have 617 now. People are still complaining about not having any money. But do they have water? I think they should be fine. We did put in a couple of wells, like this one right here. Yeah, that's completely full. It's alright. Looking A-okay. Weaver's Workshop is trying their best, I suppose. We have 3 fields over here. Well, they're not going to relocate the cows anyway. So here we are again with, I think we're supposed to have 2 fallow fields in here, unless I'm just completely wrong. And that is entirely possible that I'm completely wrong. Oh well, that's part of the fun of this game, is being completely wrong. Yeah, so they are growing all sorts of lovely stuff over here. Oh, I didn't want to zoom in there, but that's fine. Still don't have a 3rd cart. Well, maybe someday. Okay, they're waiting on metal parts. That actually makes a little bit of sense. These people still have way too much stuff in their forestry. Alright, yeah, so this won't be for a couple episodes, but we'll have to remember to come back here and tell them to chop the trees. It'll actually tell us how many are ready to be cut whenever that time comes. But just little small beacons of progress today, but every little bit matters, and every little bit is progress toward the goal. So there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of time to make things a little more beautiful. Cannot rotate the bushes. I guess I never tried that before. And we'll come right along here. And then I think we can come along this entire fence line as well. Just make this look a tiny bit better. Like somebody's paid attention to landscaping the church. Groundskeepers have been putting in work, making things look nice when people come to use the facilities. At least in my head. None of this is real, but that's fine. Video games are about escape and having fun, and that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I think that looks nice. A little bit of regularity with some spontaneity right there. Windmills doing absolutely nothing over here, but that's fine because it gets people jobs, and we have tons of money anyway. Yeah, so now our wealth distribution is actually working pretty well, and we're at this really fine balance of no housing and no jobs available. So I actually think since this is one of the lower employment months, this is probably actually peak employment in terms of amount of people that are actually working versus looking for jobs that we could get to. Wow, okay, we'll take that back. 20% unemployment. Why? Must have something to do with the number of laborers or children or something. I don't understand exactly how that works. Because it says nobody... Okay, now there's people looking for a job. That just changed. So how can we get more jobs without just plopping stuff down that doesn't need to be plopped down, you know? Well, we could just build more processing facilities. It also could have something to do with the amount of houses that have gardens. I don't know if that means people will not work a regular job if they have to tend to their garden too much. But we've got a little bit more time in today's episode to do something. I want to put something here. So let's go through our production. Let's see. Forestries, they're not going to put a farm there. Not going to put windmills. We could put more chicken coops. We already have a lot of cows. I'm not doing more pigs, I can tell you that right now. Don't need a slaughterhouse, not another tannery. We could do another carpentry, but I think we really need another smithy. So let's go ahead. And we will go ahead and put one of these guys. Let's actually put right about here. Leave a little bit of space here. We'll build one more smithy, and then I think we can do another carpentry, and that should help them out because we are just not making enough metal parts. You can't make it fast enough. Alright, are you going to buy my sunflower oil? Yes, you are. Salt, by all means, go right ahead. Horseshoes, oh, we do have some for export, so we'll sell those. I'll go ahead and buy more hemp. We're going to have to buy metal parts also. Actually, do they have any draft horses for sale? They do. They do. We'll go ahead and buy 3 of those. Oh, wow. Let's make sure we get rid of those. We don't need 20 male horses. Alright, so we'll do those 3 draft horses. We'll be there shortly. So, like I said, the other smithy will be here. We'll put another carpentry right next to it. Kind of make these blend together a little bit. Don't have to have every opening going the same way. We'll leave a little bit of space. And that also kind of helps break this up a little bit. And then just for the point of having more carts, we'll go ahead and put a cart parking right there. And I don't want to put another one right here, but we will go ahead right here. No, we don't want to get rid of our trees we planted. So we can actually go in here and put a cart parking right there, and that will help break this up a little bit as well. This smithy is, of course, done, so we're going to go over... No, don't click on you. Wow, that's a lot of people supplying resources. We'll do that. And that as well. And they should get to work pretty quickly on doing some of that stuff. I want them to plant these stupid trees. That is annoying and frustrating that that has not worked. Maybe it's just that there's no forestry close enough for them to actually do work. They say all work is done, nothing to do. Maybe I'll have to build another forestry up here and see if they'll do anything. Okay, so there goes our draft horses. They're going to march them right across this main bridge right here. And then they're going to go right over to our stable, and then they're going to get taken immediately to the carpentry up there. Well, I thought. Yeah, they're waiting on metal parts, but I did see some horses come up here. No, it was just a trick of the mind. Anyway, we'll do the same exact thing here with our carpentry. And cart parking, we can go ahead and order some carts. And they're going to get right to work. And we're going to not produce nails. We're only going to produce metal parts and horseshoes in this smithy. Because we really need metal parts. Preventative repairs? You betcha. Go ahead and tick that. And we have the opportunity now to do more cart parking. Alright, so that is 8 more carts there. Another carpentry, another smithy. We solved some of the food supply problems. Either that or they solved themselves. Added a couple houses there. They finished a house here. We got a little bit done. We planted some more trees. That is a pretty good amount of stuff to accomplish for another episode. I am just so irritated by that. I can't even bulldoze it either because it doesn't give me the option to. But we've gotten a pretty good amount of stuff done today, and I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you're enjoying the series. I know I am. And I am looking forward to taking this as far as we're willing to go and as far as you guys want to watch. I just wanted to remind you before we get out of here that I do have another series for a game called Dawn of Man that is a city builder type of survival hybrid, and I think there's going to be some combat coming up soon as well as I advance in the ages. But I've got a series coming up on that is usually about every 3 days. Now I'll post an episode for that, and I think it's fun. You might enjoy it, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. But for now, that is all the time we've got for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.